Darkcast Network, indie pods with a dark side.
Hi, this is Kelly.
And this is Jenna.
And you're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Death Mask for Murder.
So we have a shout out to give out. Katie is our brand new patron. Yes.
Oh, Katie, thank you.
Katie.
We appreciate you so much.
You don't even know.
You don't know.
No.
You don't even.
We've got a bad review on Apple Podcasts too. So if you guys want to review us.
Yeah, if anybody wants to give us a slightly better review than some lady who listened to one of our episodes and was very unhappy.
She thought we were being mean to the elderly, but honestly, we are so close to
don't you
age.
say being elderly, don't you dare.
Okay. Well,
I'm about to give you a bad review.
I know I'm about to that age to be a senior. So, hey, if we're making fun of it, that's right. Ourselves. So we're making fun of ourselves.
Yes.
Ooh, is this like a historical one? Because they used to do death masks.
No.
I want a death mask.
Do you? Because it means you're dead.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Rethink that
Something that could freak people out. Well, yeah, then I can make my kids hang it like those old 80s masks everybody put on their walls.
Oh, yeah. When Phantom of the Opera was in and everyone had those. My mom had them in our bathroom for a while. It was kind of freaky.
Creepy. I had them on my wall. I was super 80s little youngster. Yeah.
It was a little creepy. With the hollowed out eyes, right?
Yes.
It's just like a little disturbing.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's hear this about this death mask.
Okay, here we go. Martre Coles was born October 22nd, 1997. He was the youngest of 8 siblings.
Wow. That's either a really fun get together or really stressful. I don't know because I never have anybody at get-togethers because my family's small.
That's a lot of people, man. Okay. So the Coles family lived in Highland Springs, which is near Richmond, Virginia.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
Martre, or Trey, as he was sometimes called.
I like it.
He was a happy, sweet kid. He was very talented artist, incredibly talented. He expressed himself through his drawing. He was just very creative. He could do lots of different things, but he liked to draw characters and things.
Oh, fun.
And he was very good at it. And just so you know, young black man, he was tall, thin. From pictures, he looked younger than he was to me. Like he just had a young face.
A lot of guys do, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, how like the girls always age faster in high school and stuff. Yeah.
He looked younger and he was thin. And he was just a happy, sweet, good-looking kid.
Cute.
He was very close with his mother, Karina.
Okay.
Not so much with his father, Maurice Coles, who was very strict and had high expectations for his children.
I know that feeling.
Although, if you got 8 kids, there's got to be some kind of order, right?
Some structure in there. Otherwise, it's mayhem. Yeah.
But he was the kind of father who he expected you to keep your room clean. And if it wasn't, he was going to do it for you. And he was going to toss whatever he felt.
Yep. I had that happen.
I'd have that happen every once in a while. If I got to clean it, you might not get to keep all your stuff. So he had some expectations and he didn't mess around. In 2014, tragedy struck the Coles family when Corina Coles, the mother, died suddenly from complications from a hip surgery.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Martre, he was only 16 at the time.
Oh, no. That super formative.
Right.
Time.
And like I said, he was really close to his mom. So this was really, really hard for him. He withdrew. He started to struggle with depression. He expressed his pain through his art. Good for him.
I'm glad he had an outlet. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. At this point, or right around this point, or right after, sometime around the mother's death when he was 16, 17, by this point, his older siblings had all moved out or were on the verge of moving out. So it's just him and his dad.
Support system was kind of gone.
Right. So it's just him and his dad. And
it's
he and
really
his dad,
they didn't get along so great. They didn't mesh.
Right. And so Martre is depressed and Maurice is handling the death of his wife in a different way. And it's not.
They can't they're not helping each other through. It didn't bring them closer like some people.
It did not. No.
Oh, shoot.
Maurice Coles had a very interesting way of dealing with his wife's death. He started to lean very heavily on a friend and coworker, Denise Monique Gay is her name, Denise. She's a single mother with she's got 2 daughters of her own.
Okay. She said single. Okay.
Single, right? She's comforting Maurice, and she would come by the house to clean and cook for them, which,
that's
I'm sure
nice.
they needed, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they quickly become a couple.
Oh, shit. Like how long after she died?
A month.
A
month. Like a month after Karina dies, Denise and her younger daughter move in.
That's a little, no. And poor Trey, he's still like in the middle of, oh my God, you're still just shocked.
Right. Yeah, you're still like, because it wasn't like she was sick and it was coming.
Right. They had no expectation.
Right.
Oh.
And it was kind of like Maurice was just like, I need a wife.
Yeah. He just like, I need somebody. I can't do this. Wow.
Slap the new one in. So Denise and her younger of her 2 daughters, 9-year-old Elena, move in.
Oh, God. And then you've got to deal with this whole new dynamic. And you're still trying to grieve.
Oh, this recipe for disaster, right?
This stresses me out.
As it should.
Fuck.
So,
okay.
Trey's older sisters, Michelle and Marquisha, I think they were closer in age to Trey. So I think they're like in their early 20s.
Okay.
They don't live there anymore, but he's close to them, right? They're kind of pissed at their dad for like just moving on so quickly. They're like, seriously, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they've moved out.
Right. They've got their own spaces.
They're like, we don't agree with this, but we're not going to do anything about it. We don't live there anymore.
What can they do? Yeah.
They didn't care for Denise. They didn't trust Denise.
Well, yeah.
They just were like,
quick.
Well, yeah. They're like, you just moved in and took over for my mom. Like it was a wife swap situation, right?
I don't know if, even if she was like the best person on earth, you're not going to take it well.
I know.
Anyway,
right?
And then that quickly is insane.
Like
it makes you wonder if like, did they have a relationship already before mom died?
I looked and they're like, no, they were friends. But I'm just like, seriously? It's
quick. Yeah.
Martre was desperate for a mother figure, and he bonded with Denise real quick.
Oh,
she was kind. She was supportive of him. Like she really wanted to move in and become.
Okay. She wanted to take over everything.
She wanted to take over.
Wow.
Now, 9-year-old Elena,
a little jealous.
She was not excited to move into this house. She was not excited to suddenly have a new stepdad and stepbrother. I mean, they didn't get married, but still. She totally resented the entire thing. She already had severe behavior issues, apparently.
Oh, shit.
Coming into this situation. She's 9, right?
Ooh.
So she was a little hard to handle as it was. And then when Maurice and Denise would go out, which Maurice and Denise, just let that sit there for a minute.
Maybe they could wear matching t-shirts.
When they would go out, Martre was expected to watch Elena.
Oh, shit.
And she's not difficult. Like... Right?
She's starting fires and shit.
Right. They did not get along. They fought and argued constantly. Denise would cover for her daughter's bad behavior.
Oh, no. She's enabling it.
She's enabling it.
Okay.
And then Trey would get in trouble from his dad for the things that Elena did.
Oh.
It was a very messed up dynamic in this house, right?
Oh, he's not protecting his son at all.
No, he's not. He's strict. This is what has to go on. But if Denise is covering for Elena, then the only other person it could be would be Trey.
And that's the only person he can really scold without.
Right. And Denise is allowing it to happen. And Trey doesn't want to mess that up because he needs Denise.
Yeah, he feels like he needs her. Oh, shit.
So over the next 2 to 3 years, it continues like this, right?
No.
It's just a negative, unhealthy situation at home.
Toxic.
Maurice completely ignored Trey's ongoing mental health struggles.
Oh, no. Oh, nothing.
Right.
No
and
counseling.
He was either, So he either ignored the issues between Trey and Elena or was completely oblivious. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it could be. Some
I mean, you have to work to be that oblivious, in my opinion. But
could be he's just like, I'm just here to eat and sleep. And you're my wife now.
I have a wife. So here we go.
Oh.
So Trey's depression worsens.
Of course.
He even expressed thoughts of suicide, telling his sisters things like, I just want to go join mom. I just want to be with mom.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This poor kid.
He does start taking medication for depression. I'm not exactly sure how that happened because his dad was ignoring his mental health issues. So I don't know. Somehow, though, I guess he was seeing a therapist, but he was taking medication for it. He was trying. In January of 2016, he began dating a girl he met in his high school art class named Ashlyn Knight.
Okay. Ooh,
and they were kind of like, I saw pictures of them together. They were like peas in a pod. They were like they were both very artsy and they were great together. They quickly fell in love. They became each other's person.
Okay. So he's got someone else to kind of support him. And
exactly. They talked all day, every day. Like they checked into each other every day. They just instantly became each other's support person. And he shared with Ashlyn that he hoped one day to turn the characters he drew into like a career. He was hoping he could go to school and create art for video games.
Hell yeah. That's what I was going to say. Right? Video games. I mean, all of it. And now there's so many animated shows and so much you can do with it. Okay, cool.
He and Ashlyn even started to talk about a future together.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So it's changing. It's getting better.
It's getting better. He's still struggling, but he's got something positive in his life now, right? Good. He even told Ashlyn that he had this dream of attending an art school. I had never heard of this one called Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida.
Oh,
I don't know a lot about it. I think it's a small art school or it's a private art school or some, I don't know, but that's where he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. Trey spent a lot of time on the phone with Ashlyn.
Okay.
And this also became a point of contention between him and Elena. Because I'm trying to figure out. So this would have been like 2016, 2017, I think.
Okay.
So he should have had a cell phone, but they argued over the house phone a lot. I don't know how or why or whatever.
Maybe they couldn't afford cell phones for everybody, so they just did
or
a house phone.
One fight grew so violent that Elena picked up a pair of scissors and stabbed Trey.
Oh, shit, girl. Wow.
I told you she had some behavior issues.
Damn,
that's some anger issues.
She's not holding back.
She actually aimed for his chest and he blocked it and she caught him in the collarbone.
Jesus, she could have killed him.
She could have killed him. She could have killed him. Right? Denise tried to, I don't think anybody else was home at the time. I think it was just the two of them.
Oh no.
Right? This is what happens when you leave them at home by themselves.
Yes.
Denise tried to smooth things over with Trey. She forced Elena to apologize.
Okay. At least there's something.
Yeah. Denise asked Martre to keep the incident a secret from his father.
No, girl. No, that's not fair.
And he did.
Oh, Trey. Oh.
So, but he did tell his sisters who were like,
good.
You should tell dad. And he's like, yeah, but
I don't want to rock
does
the boat.
All this stuff. Right. Yeah. Denise does all this stuff for me. She really helps take care of me. But his sisters really started to worry about his safety in that house. One of his sisters
then could be like, hey,
come live here.
Yeah. Or come live with me.
Right. Or
either one.
I'm going to tell dad.
Talking to dad. Yeah.
I don't really understand why. I don't know. Yeah. So after that, Denise started to have her older daughter, who was 21. Her name was LaToya. Move into the house and kind of monitor the situation.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, but she was on Denise's side and Elena's side. So
she wasn't really helpful. Okay.
I mean, she was, but I think Martre kind of resented that a little bit too. It's like,
I'm sure. I need 18. A babysitter.
Now I need a babysitter. Exactly. Right. Plus, so he had this happy family and now his mom's gone. This other lady comes in, these two
other girls,
step siblings that are making his life hell. This is my house. Trey does graduate high school. He's still struggling with his mental health. He tries to talk to his father about wanting to apply to college and go to art school. His dad, however, does not understand his art.
Oh, no.
And says, I didn't go to college. I don't know how you do that. I can't help you.
A lot of people are like that about art.
He's like, I can't help you. But Denise offers to help him.
Okay. Apply and stuff?
Yes.
At least?
She's like, well, I can help you apply to schools. I can help you figure out how to make a portfolio of your work.
Good. God, his school should have been helping with that as well, his high school. They kind of dropped the ball there.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. Maybe they weren't not all schools are very college minded or next level. It's just, we're just trying to get you out.
Yeah. Oh,
we're responsible to you until you graduate, and then you're on your own.
Good luck.
But weird shit's still going on that he's dealing with. Okay.
Oh no.
One day Denise is cleaning up Trey's room and discovers a pentagram drawn on his floor under the rug.
Oh.
So they had like hard rugs, and then like she lifts the rug and
he drew on their own floor. Oops.
On the floor.
See, I'm not worried about the pentagram, but I'm worried about the floor. I'll be like,
well,
whatever.
The pentagram freaked her out.
It did. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And she tells Maurice, and Maurice is livid.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Right.
You should be like, I did that when I was 9. You probably did.
So Trey is like, I didn't draw that. I don't know where it came from. Whatever.
Oh,
Maurice doesn't believe it.
No, it's Elena, that little bitch. She is a little bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, but true.
Not long after that, Corina, the mom who passed away, they still have her car, I guess. Her car is set on fire.
See, I told you she's setting fires. I even said she's a fire.
You did say that.
Little
you
pyro,
did say that.
Little shit.
Trey is blamed for it. But he's like, I didn't light her car on fire.
And why would he? It's his own.
It's his mother's, right?
Yeah.
Michelle and Marquisha do defend Trey to their dad.
Oh.
Like, okay, come on. That doesn't make sense. He would never set fire to something that was mom's. Right.
And probably it's something he would like to use, not something.
Right. But Maurice can't be reasoned with.
Oh, shit.
The whole father-son relationship is at an all-time low at this point.
Oh, no.
The spring of 2017, a very miserable 19-year-old Trey finally gets a lifeline, right?
Oh, good. Okay.
He received an email from Full Sail University inviting him to come down and tour the art school.
Oh, my God. That's huge. Okay.
Trey is thrilled.
Yes.
So he emails back and forth with the school, and they set a plan for him to visit. So the plan is that he's going to take a bus from Virginia to Florida, and someone is going to meet him at the bus station and then drive him to the campus.
Awesome. Okay.
He's so psyched, right? Through this email communication, they're like, you got to complete an essay. You need to bring your portfolio, and we want you to make a paper mache mask of your face. This is all part of like I don't know.
All right. Yeah,
right?
Whatever.
Okay,
sure.
Cool. Denise is like, I'll help you, right? She helps him plan for the trip. She helps him write the essay. His girlfriend, Ashlyn, she is thrilled for him.
Aww.
She's like, good, he needs to get out of that house. He's on his way to make his dreams come true. On the morning of March 12th, that's the day he was supposed to get on the bus, right, to start heading down there. Trey realized he had left his wallet at his sister Michelle's house the night before.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, I gotta get my wallet, right? A few hours later, Ashlyn is calling and messaging Trey to check on him because, like I said, they were in constant contact with each other. She expected to talk to him that morning.
Yeah, especially he's got to be so excited.
Right, goodbye, good luck,
I'm on the bus.
Right. Or I'm on the bus, everything's cool, and
nothing.
He's not, he didn't call her, which she was like, that's weird. And he's not messaging and he's not responding. Hours are going by and she's texting going, why aren't you answering me? It's been a couple hours. I'm getting worried, just message after message, right? By late afternoon, evening, she's like freaking. So she calls Denise, who said, Trey left hours ago and I haven't heard from him. Right. And Denise is like, not concerned. So Ashlyn calls his sisters and Michelle's like, well, he left his wallet here and he was supposed to come get it, but he never showed up.
He never got his wallet. Something's big wrong there.
So now both sisters are trying to reach Trey and his phone is going right to voicemail at this point.
Oh, no.
So the next day, when no one had heard from him still, the sisters go to the Coles residence to talk to their dad. And they're met by Denise and LaToya. And according to them, Denise and LaToya were acting weird.
I'm sure. What are you covering up?
Yeah. Denise is like, I don't know where he is. He left.
Uh-huh. Can they get a hold of their dad? Like, dad?
Their dad is like, not, I'm telling you, this man is like, must be choosing to be oblivious to everything.
I guess.
Like, it's just so weird. So they're like, nope, he left. I haven't heard from him. So the sisters are like really worried now. They started to wonder, did he just go straight to Florida or was this like a mental health crisis thing?
Oh, no.
He had been struggling with mental health. He was making comments about wanting to join their mom.
Yeah, but he's so looking forward to this. This was
he's
his one
so
thing.
Close, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, they're like, this is weird.
I guess you got to think of everything. Yeah.
Right. So they're searching all over trying to find places.
Oh God.
Where maybe he could be. There was a place, I guess, where he used to play basketball. They went there. I guess at one point they lived in a different neighborhood. They went to their old neighborhood.
God.
Can't find him, right? So they're like, something's not right. Martre and Ashlyn had the passwords for each other's email accounts.
Ooh, good.
Okay. So I guess, like I said, they were really close. They really trusted each other. They were really each other's person. And so Ashlyn logs into Trey's account to see if she can get any more information about the trip. Right? Like,
good. Okay.
All right. Like, is there something missing? Is there any other emails? Right? Is there someone she could contact down there and see if he arrived? Right?
Absolutely.
She notices that the person he had been communicating with, Shalia Crenshaw, had been emailing from a Gmail address, not a school address ending in edu.
That's
and she's
weird.
Like, that's not right.
No, they wouldn't do that, especially in an official capacity. Right. No way.
So she calls his sisters and is like, this is weird, you guys. So Marquisha calls the university and finds out no one's expecting Trey here. And there is no one here by the name of Shalia Crenshaw that works here.
No.
So they're like, all right, something's not right. And they go to file a missing persons report with the police. They're like, something's
it's ridiculous. They have to do it and their dad's not doing shit.
No, he's not doing it. And that's pissing them off too.
Oh, for sure. I'd be.
Because they're just like, well, you know, he's moody and artsy and whatever. And I'm sure he's here somewhere. Where else is he going to go?
I want to slap thing. How awful. This poor kid. No wonder he's having issues.
The police do call or see or whatever. They talk to Maurice and Denise, right? But both of them are like, not concerned.
So then the police are like, oh, he probably ran off. He's 18. He could start his own life.
They're like, look, we'll take the report, but he's legally an adult. He's 19. And like, they're like, we can't trace his phone or anything like that. We can't do like an Amber Alert. He's an adult. He has the right to disappear. We've said this before.
Yeah.
Days go by without word from Trey. The sisters they're freaking out. Ashlyn's freaking out. They're all pissed because their dad doesn't seem to give a crap.
He doesn't give a shit. Dude, get your forensics kit, go to their house, search their freaking house. I don't care. Make your own forensics kit.
So they're freaking out, but there's nothing they can do.
No.
3 weeks go by.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. April 2nd. A man on his lunch break is walking through a wooded area.
Oh no.
Near an industrial park where he works. I think, he's on his lunch break. He's just taking a little stroll, whatever. He notices a bluish gray plastic container, like a Rubbermaid.
Oh, God damn it.
Tote bin. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep,
that you put like in your attic or whatever. Like all my Christmas decorations are in there.
This is not why you do not open luggage.
Well, he's looking and he sees.
You do not open freezers that you find outside. No.
Right. Exactly. If you ever see any kind of body-sized
barrels, item. I did not open the barrels on the place I stood.
Not to open
I was
barrel,
like, I'm not even
And it is out of place. You do not open.
Did you see? I just posted a screenshot of a story in Grand Junction where I used to live about someone was clearing out this house that they had bought as is, and there was a freezer. They found a head in the fucking freezer.
Well, if there was ever a reason not to buy a house as is.
I know. Well, and it wasn't even them that discovered it. They were just like, hey, anyone take all this crap? Come and get all this crap.
They just like put it on the curb and was like, hey, free freezer. And someone comes by and is like, this looks good, and opens it and was like, holy
apparently
shit.
There was a ton of like venison and other kind of meat on top of it. So they're throwing all that out, and out rolls a head. Fucking head. Anyway, see, this is why you don't. I would be like, I'm not taking that freezer. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Okay. The first thing you do, can a body fit in there or a body part?
Body parts. I mean, people don't always put them in the same place as the rest of the body. Ew. Okay.
Well, he sees this. It's in an odd location. And he sees a sneaker poking out. And he thinks someone dumped a bunch of clothes.
Right. He's like,
I could use some clothes.
New clothes.
New kicks. Why not?
No.
Yeah, except the sneaker was still attached to a foot.
There's still a body in here. But was it a good shoe? I mean, he could still.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gross.
He lifts the lid.
Oh, no.
And finds the body of a young black male.
Oh, God.
Folded up like an accordion. So it wasn't like just a foot. It was his whole body. He's got his hands tied behind his back.
Oh, God.
And he's just like scrunched up.
Oh, poor little dude. Yeah.
And like I said, he looked young. Because the guy in the thing that I watched was like, dude, somebody's child. This is
he thought it was a kid.
He was 19, but like I said,
but he looked way younger.
He was very thin. He had a kind of a baby face. So anyway, so he's like, holy shit, and he calls the police. The body is fully clothed.
Okay.
No identification on him. Left his wallet at his sister's house. There's no obvious cause of death. There's no trauma. There's no injury. There's no blood. So they take the body in and they do a quick
pair of
autopsy.
Scissors in his heart.
No, it was no
he wasn't set on fire.
Right. And they do an autopsy and they run a quick toxicology report and they show that he had high levels of trazodone, which is a sleeping pill, and GHB, which is a sedative in his system. High levels, right?
And isn't that the rape drug, GHB?
I don't know, is it? It could be. Both slow your breathing and your heart rate. They're both they're both sedatives.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you have too much.
Right. No. So they determined that his cause of death was actually suffocation. Like his heart rate and his breathing were slowed down, which makes it really easy to suffocate somebody.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So the detective assigned to the case sees that the victim matches the description of a recently filed missing persons report for a Martre Coles.
Somebody cared.
It's Richmond, Virginia. This is not like New York City. This is
it's a much smaller area. Right. Okay.
So they're like, so let's just see. Okay, so we have a body. Do we have any missing persons reports? Yep, we happen to have a recent one. Right.
Thank God his sisters cared to make one.
Exactly. Right. So he does a quick search and finds Martre's driver's license photo and confirms, yep, that looks like our guy. So they they're like, yep, this is probably 19-year-old Martre Coles. And where his body was found was only 5 miles away from his home. So the detective is about to notify the family when he gets a call from the overnight sergeants who recognized Martre Coles' name from a different police report that had been taken on March 31st, just a few days earlier.
Oh.
So not the missing persons report. On that night, 2 officers responded to a burglar alarm set off at the home of Maurice Coles. Okay, so the house where they all live, right?
Yeah.
One of the officers, who was one of the responding officers, recognizes Elena, who I think is 12 or 13 now, right?
Because she's always getting in trouble.
Exactly.
So he's like, I know her.
She had actually recently run away from home after being disciplined by her mother for something, and she didn't like how that went down.
Getting disciplined. Okay.
Right. So they go to the house and older sister Latoya is there and she explains to the officers that it's a false alarm that Elena had pulled on purpose to get attention. Like I said, she's a fun one.
Yeah, she's a firecracker.
I was just gonna say that. Or what do they call it? She's spirited.
Spirited. Yes.
She's very spirited.
That's a very nice way.
She's got a couple spirits in there, I think.
Maybe a demon or two.
Possessed, right. So the officer asks Elena, are you okay? And she goes, can I talk to you? And he's like, sure. Yeah. You're not going to run on me, are you? And she's like, no. And he's like, all right. So he takes her outside to talk to her privately while the other officer stays with Latoya and is asking questions and stuff. And Elena starts to tell him that a few weeks ago, she saw her mother and sister kill her stepbrother, Martre.
Holy shiz.
He's like, no, what now?
Right. Okay. Is she putting this on them or did she do it? Now I'm wondering.
I guess she goes into detail on the story, but then the other officer comes and the show I watched has the body cam video of the officer listening to her and the other officer. And the other officer is a young guy. And he has this look of utter horror and disgust on his face as he's like looking back and forth from the girl to the officer to the girl, like,
he's
the hell am I hearing? Right? Okay.
Wow.
Elena says, and this is all while she's standing on the front lawn of their house, right? In front of these 2 officers, that she was walking past Martre's room and the door was ajar and she heard something happening in there. She heard like noise or something, right?
Okay.
So she looks in and sees Trey laying on the floor on his back. Mm-hmm. Denise is pressing down on his chest.
Okay.
LaToya is sitting on his legs, and Trey is struggling underneath them.
Oh, no.
And they're holding him down. And on Trey's face was the papier-mâché mask that he had made for his trip.
What's the actual fuck?
Right?
Was there a breathing hole? I take it no.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Denise sees Elena in the doorway and yells, "Go to your room. Nothing's wrong. Just get out of here." Right. So she does, because she's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm out of here."
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She actually listened to the authority for once.
Leveled up the punishment in the house. She's like, "Well, shit."
Okay, maybe I should start being good.
Right. So she does, and she's sitting in her room. And a little while later, she hears the ladder getting pulled down from the attic. They had one of those things where you pull down and the ladder comes down.
Yeah.
And then she hears something like being dragged through the hallway. So again, she gets curious and she peeks out of her room.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And she peeks out and she sees her sister dragging a large plastic tub.
Is it blue?
She said it was like minty green, but the thing was like a bluish gray. So yeah, it's all kind of the same, right? That her sister dragged it out of the house and she and her mother put it in the car and then they left. But these officers, they're familiar with Elena's behavioral issues. Okay. The body hasn't been found yet. They didn't know that Trey had been reported missing.
Oh, okay.
They just went for another issue with Elena. They went for,
Okay, so they're thinking, she's probably trying to get attention.
Can we believe her? Like, they're not really sure, right? They even say in the show that guy's like, "Are you lying to us?" And you can get in big trouble for lying to the police. Wow. They didn't really know what to do with the information, right? So they have to write up a report.
Right, they have to anyway, just because
so,
they were there.
They put it in the report that
good.
she told them this story, right?
Good.
And because it was such
due diligence,
exactly. And because that was such a shocking thing that she said in the report, the sergeant remembered the report and the name Coles stuck in his head. So when he heard they identified the victim that they had found and that his name was Martre Coles, he went, "Oh, you guys might want to look at, you guys might want to look at this." Damn, otherwise, all of that might not have been connected.
Right. Had she not said something.
Right. Okay. And note, her mom wasn't home. She pulled the alarm when LaToya was there. And she didn't want to say it in front of LaToya. So LaToya didn't hear her say that either.
Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not sure whether I believe her or she's trying to.
Or they're covering for her.
Yeah.
Right. So detectives need a little more evidence to corroborate Elena's story because she's not exactly reliable. Plus, she's a minor.
Absolutely. Oh, right. True.
But she did know the color of the bin, right? So they're like, all right. But true. Because of that, and they don't know what to do or who to trust, they're like, we're not going to tell the family just yet that we found him.
Okay. Good plan. Right? See what happens.
So we're going to see what else we can gather. We're going to do a little digging first, right?
We're just back to check on you guys.
They start with running a background check on Denise Monique Gay. And they find out that she has a rap sheet. She has served time in more than one state for a number of felonies that all had to do with some kind of fraud. Writing bad checks, computer fraud, forgery.
Oh, shit. What's she doing now? Uh-oh. Okay.
Right. And also, they couldn't rule out Maurice as a player because, he kept saying he wasn't concerned about Trey being gone. No. So they're like, does he know about it? Is he in on it?
Yeah.
Is he
a part of this?
Right.
Does he even give a shit? Does he know he has a son?
Right. So on April 3rd, the next day, police call in Michelle and Marquisha to the station. And they're like, we want to follow up on your missing persons report. It's been a couple of weeks. We want to follow up. So they question them further and they ask a little more. They dig in a little more and they get some information about the dysfunctional situation in the house that's been going on for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say.
I mean, they're already aware that Elena lives there and that's a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But now they hear that there's issues between the father and Trey and how all this has affected Trey and yada, yada, yada. And they ask the sisters for DNA swaps.
Good.
because for now, then they can absolutely say this is Trey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
They don't tell them though, but the sisters are like, he's probably dead. They're asking for DNA.
Yeah. They want to find out.
So they're like, oh my God. So they're starting to realize shit.
Yeah.
But they don't say anything.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Right. So then police get a warrant for the Coles home.
Ooh,
and
good.
when they go to serve it, only LaToya is home. And they told her, look, we're just gathering evidence for the missing persons case, right?
Oh, smart.
Right?
Okay.
So they're searching the house. And while someone is interviewing her and asking her questions about Trey and keeping it missing persons only, right? As soon as she's done talking to them, she gets in her car and leaves. So they're like, one of you guys follow her.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Right?
Let's find out what she's doing.
See where she's going.
For a tub?
Because she suddenly had to leave, right? So she immediately drives 5 miles away to the area where the tub had been left.
Oh.
Now, there was a road nearby. You couldn't see where the tub was from the road, but you could see the general area. She drives over there. She kind of pulls up on the side of the road. There's no police tape. There's no cops there.
Okay.
So she's just checking, like, did they find it?
We're good.
Right. And she drives off. But police are like, well, that's weird, huh?
That's a pretty good, that's pretty good circumstantial evidence.
So they're like, okay, so they think we haven't found the body yet. So police decide we're going to set a trap.
Good.
They're probably going to come back and move the body.
You would think so, right?
Right.
Okay.
So the detectives set up a trail cam, like the kind that game hunters use.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing.
I am familiar with that because my family and we all like to watch Bigfoot hunters and stuff.
Oh, yes.
we watch all that shit.
Yes.
Expedition Bigfoot. Awesome
you see the ones
show.
where raccoons are riding pigs and shit on trail cams, and you're like, what are they doing out all the time? We thought we were the only weirdos, but no, animals are weird too.
Yeah. Oh no, they're very weird.
Oh,
so
good.
they set
I'm
up a trail cam on one of the trees and they point it so it's looking at the area where the tub was, and it's also looking at that road.
And plus,
so you can see if anyone pulls up.
Bigfoot goes by or knocks on trees, they'll also have that.
Then it's two birds,
win-win.
right? We also found Bigfoot. So, and it's the kind, so it doesn't take video, but it does snap a picture if there's movement.
Okay.
4 days go by.
Wow. That's
and
surprising.
Then they go and they've gotten a hit on the trail cam. They have, unfortunately, they're blurry pictures, which I don't understand. Apparently, they don't use the same ones that they use on Expedition Bigfoot because there's pretty good imagery on those. Let me just say.
Those must be Hollywood ones, and these are just police issue ones.
Right. These are just basic, right? This is just like average Joe cams.
Yeah.
So anyways, what they got was a blurry image of someone in like a big coat with the hood up.
Oh. Okay.
Walking, carrying something like a long stick, which they're like, it's probably a shovel.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
They're carrying something long, but you can't see their face because the hood is kind of covering their face, right? You can't really identify the person. However, in the background, in the road, you can see a car has pulled up and you can't see the license plates, but it is the same type of Suburban, same make and model look as the car that Martre Coles owned.
Oh, all right. Okay. So does it look like a male figure? You just can't tell?
That was part of it, was they're trying to figure out like, how big is this person?
Yeah.
Okay. So at first they're not sure, but they're able to confirm that the person on the trail cam was probably not Maurice because where he works, where he and Denise both work, they have a lot of security cameras around.
Oh, okay. So they
and
know
at
whether
that
they
time,
come and go.
they had him on security camera at his work location, which is nowhere near there. They also were able to find out that the morning that they believe Martre was murdered, the day he was supposed to go to the thing, that Maurice was also seen on camera at work. But it is enough now that they can get Denise's cell phone records.
Oh, good.
And her phone pinged near the site where the body was found on the day he was killed and on the day the trail cam was set off.
Jesus.
So she was at that area.
Okay.
On both times that someone would have been there with the body.
All right.
She had access to Maurice's car that day. And actually, I forgot to put it in the story, but I remembered reading in one of the articles that I did list as a source that the day, shoot, I can't remember. It was either the day that they caught her on the trail cam or the day that he died. I can't remember which one. But one of those days, they got records at the work location saying that she went to work that day, but then she left to go to a different location for something. And there was no record of her needing to do that.
Oh,
but I think she thought she had an alibi. And then a computer forensic expert was able to trace the fake emails from the art school to Denise's computer.
This bitch. How
and the
awful.
IP address for their house. So she was emailing Trey from the same house, like a different room.
That's just evil. Like getting his hopes up too, just to go kill him.
They also found out that she had access to the sleeping pill trazodone. So they're like, this is all kind of coming together.
What's the motive?
Right. So on April 10th, 2017, so he disappeared on the 12th of March and his body was found on April 2nd. So on the 10th, she's arrested for second-degree murder.
Sweet.
8 days after his body was found.
It was very planned though, but I'll hear.
But that's what they arrested her with, right?
Okay.
So she denies knowing anything about the murder. LaToya Gay is arrested soon after.
Good.
Maurice would not cooperate with the police or the prosecutor at all. He refused to believe that Denise or LaToya had anything to do with his son's death.
Oh my God. Did they tell him about all her fraud and shit? Because you'd think that would be like an eye-opener.
Didn't want to hear it.
Okay. He just wants life. He doesn't care.
You want to slap him? You want to slap him, don't you?
Especially for his own child. What a dick.
So a joint trial started in late 2017, and the prosecution decided they figured out a motive, right?
Ooh.
They tell the jury that Denise Gay saw an opportunity when Martre Coles died. Remember, she was big on fraud, right?
Yeah.
She targeted Maurice, who she knew was vulnerable at this point, right? And they were already friends and coworkers, right?
Okay.
She worked his way into his heart and his home.
Yeah, yeah.
And she wanted it to be her home.
She made it that way pretty quick.
Yep. She got rid of almost all traces of Karina as quickly as she could.
Oh, no.
But Trey was a constant reminder of Karina.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, God. Okay.
Plus, Trey and Elena did not get along.
Yeah. So
someone's got to go.
Oh,
right.
That's awful.
She tried turning Maurice against his son, but apparently it wasn't enough because Trey wasn't moving out.
Oh, God.
So she came up with a very elaborate plan to get rid of Trey for good. She encouraged him to apply to college. She helped him do it. She helped him make the mask that he wore while she strangled him. And she created a phony invitation for him to visit his dream school. And I think she was hoping to buy enough time or just give everyone the thought that he went down there and loved it and just said, I'm not coming
never
back.
Came back. Yeah. Dude, he's 19. He's at the age he will move out soon. Why?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Or maybe just actually help him apply.
Yeah.
Don't fake it. Maybe actually.
Maybe he'll get a great job, want to be somewhere else. And
maybe he and Ashlyn would have moved out eventually. And I don't know, whatever. So
this bitch.
So what they presented to the jury was that they believed that on the morning of March 12th, she drugged Trey.
Okay.
And then she and her daughter, LaToya, held him down until he suffocated because he was already pretty subdued, right?
Yeah, very much.
Then they got a storage tote out of the attic and they put him in it and they left him in this wooded area. Elena testified at the trial because she was a minor. I guess she was in a separate room and she was like on a camera.
Okay.
So she didn't have to be in the same room with her mom and her sister.
That's good.
But she did. And she testified to what she saw that day.
Good.
And that how her mother said nothing happened. They said her mother told her Trey woke up in a panic and they were helping him. But Then he disappeared and he never came back.
Yeah, that's something weird happened. So Elena actually is turning into like a good person in the end of this ish.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. She was a part of it.
I mean, look at her mom.
I know.
This is what she's grown up with.
This is what she's been taught.
So she admitted in court to stabbing Trey with scissors. She's like, yeah.
Jesus.
She also she also testified that she didn't miss him and wasn't sad that he was dead.
Okay, no, I take it back. She is not a hero in this story. Holy balls.
The jury convicted both women of conspiracy.
Okay.
But they were deadlocked on the murder charge. So with the conspiracy, they were each sentenced to 10 years.
Okay.
But the prosecution was able to do a retrial. Because it was deadlocked, right?
Okay.
So retrial was set for the spring of 2018. Finally, after hearing all the evidence presented at the first trial, Martre Coles woke the fuck up.
Something happened?
Right. And brought the prosecution a key piece of evidence.
Oh, God, finally.
Apparently, while he was cleaning up and packing up some of Denise's stuff.
Yeah, get her out.
She's going to prison for 10 years. He found her cell phone and her purse and gave it to the police.
Good.
At the second trial, the prosecutors were able to show the jury text messages between Denise and LaToya on April 4th. That's the day. It's not the day the body was. That's the day of the trail cam.
Oh my God. Okay.
On April 4th, there were text messages because they were together the day they killed him, with Denise saying she was going back to the site where they left the bin, or just alluding that she was going back to the site. And LaToya, who was out of town at the time, was saying, sorry, I can't be there to help you. And that I don't think you can lift it yourself. And Denise says, I'll just do it or whatever. She's just like, I'll be fine. But then Denise texts back and says, it's not there.
It's gone. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's pretty effing damning, right?
Yeah. And pre-planned. Hi.
Right. The jury also learned that on her phone, Denise had searched for things like ways to dispose of a dead body. What does lime do to a dead body?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Things like that, right?
Okay. So
what are other things that work like chloroform? I mean,
holy shit. Yeah, honey, there's private windows for those.
This is 2017. Have you never seen Dateline?
Oh no.
Whatever. I mean, both of you and I are screwed if anything ever happens.
Because we do search for all that stuff.
It's all in the podcast is our alibi.
It's true. It's true. All right.
Okay. So in May of 2018, Denise Monique Gay was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life.
Good.
And LaToya was in a separate trial, and she was also convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years.
Wow. Okay. Hopefully they don't get out.
Right. And I still don't know if, well, I mean, at some point I wondered if it had been Elena and they were covering up. I don't know. There's a lot of damning evidence.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel bad for Elena. She's kind of had a crap life, and now she doesn't have her mom either or her sister.
Yeah.
And
she's,
I can't imagine things are going to get better. Like, I don't see her straightening it up anytime.
No, it's like she was being groomed to be a criminal, basically, all her life. So
I feel bad for her. But
holy shit. Yeah.
So that is my story. Would you like to hear my sources?
Good story. Let me hear your stories. I need to watch that show.
Yeah.
I love body cams.
So Killer Motive, season 2, episode 9, The Art of Death.
Ooh.
That's the one that had the body cam footage.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
I also watched Relatively Evil, season 1, episode 3, Masked Motives.
Ooh, yes. We're going all over with the mask.
Oh, right.
Like it.
There was an article from the Roanoke Times on roanoke.com, uscapitalnews.wordpress.com, thecinemaholic.com, and then some random Googling and Wikipedia stuff for like
all that good stuff. Details on GHB.
GHB and all the shit that's going to get me in trouble. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just little things.
Just little things, you know.
Cool. Well, thank you again for listening, everybody. Another
Thanks,
week.
everybody. See you next week.
Whoop, whoop. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.
Hey Oddies, thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com. And if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.